Friday morning. Charles Payne, Chris Cotter, Tracy Burns, the regulars are here. Congressman Kevin Brady from Capitol Hill. He says he has specific cuts for us. No more pie-in-the-sky vague ideas. Specifics coming up in a moment. And Nicole Petalides on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow is virtually unchanged with those jobless numbers and the debt warning from Fed Chairman Bernanke. Now, let's get to those spending cuts. Specific spending cuts. Congressman Kevin Brady, Republican, Texas, live with us from Capitol Hill. What's your cuts list, sir?
Well, good morning, Stuart. Thanks for having me on. This morning, let me announce it here. This morning we're going to introduce the Cuts Act, which will cut $153 billion out of the federal budget over the next 5 years. Some of it, a lot of it, was developed by the President's bipartisan deficit reduction commission. Other of it, programs that both the Bush and the Obama administration targeted. As you would guess, there's probably some pretty popular items: freezing the pay of Congress and federal workers, eliminating unemployment benefits for millionaires, forcing federal workers to pay their federal taxes. But there's some tough cuts: shrinking the federal workforce by 10%, cutting procurement at the Department of Defense by 15%, making them more efficient in everything they buy, cutting a host of programs. My guess are pretty popular back home, but I don't see any other way.
Okay.
There could be no sacred cows.
I'm just going to pick on two that I picked up on your list there. Freezing federal pay. Okay, got that. Now, can you do that? Or can you just do that with legislation? You can flat out say, the House Republicans say, we're freezing federal pay. That's it. You can do that?
We can do that legislatively, absolutely.
Okay, 10% cut in the federal workforce. You can do that. Just plain and simple legislation. You can do it.
We can. There'll be a lot of hollering, but yes, we can. And the truth is, do you know any business that hasn't had to right-size itself through this economy? And since we're spending 40% more than we're taking in, do we really have a choice here?
Okay. Now, one more thing before we get... Tracy's got a question. I've got one more thing. You said freezing or reducing jobless benefits for millionaires. Now, that's a new one. What's that all about?
It is. It was identified by Republicans and Democrats as wasteful spending. They actually do qualify for those unemployment benefits. And along with making federal workers pay their taxes, you know, there's things like that that just seem foolish we allow to happen today. So we did target those along with the larger, I think, probably tougher spending cuts.
Okay.
Representative Brady, I applaud your efforts, but why do we have to wait 5 years, sir? I mean, we're coming up on the extension of a debt ceiling any day now. We're going to have to probably come and cross this bridge again come April again, because we're going to blow out the debt ceiling. Why can't we do this stuff just instantaneously? If we're going to see pain, let's just see it already.
Great question, and you know, I didn't explain it very well, and I apologize. These cuts would take effect now. Their savings over the next 5 years would be $153 billion, but the point is we need to make those cuts now. You're right, to achieve those types of savings. And the debt ceilings, you know, it's not just about paying our debts, it's about cutting up the credit cards, not arriving back at this position. So you're right, we need to act now, and we need to make the serious types of cuts that will restore consumer confidence and business confidence in this country.
One last one, Mr. Brady. I don't think we should allow our country to default on its debts. I'm saying that we absolutely must draw the line and say, under no circumstances will we default on our debt. We must, therefore, raise the debt ceiling. I mean, would you agree with me on that?
No, absolutely. We have to pay our debts. We cannot default. But also beyond that, it's just, I guess I view it like a business that gets up close to the default line. The question is, one, are you going to pay your debts? But two, are you going to restructure yourself so you don't face this again? And I think right-sizing the size of our government, cutting wasteful spending, and going back to our core mission in business that attracts investors, that makes you stronger for the long term. I think we need to take that same successful strategy when dealing with the government.
Congressman Kevin Brady, Republican, Texas. You're a frequent guest on this program, and we welcome you. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thank
Come and see us again soon.
Tracy.
Thank you.